Welcome to Los Chavales channel. Today we're going to analyze the 2006-2007 UEFA Champions League quarterfinal between Bayern Munich against AC Milan. Bayern Munich has Oliver Kahn on the goal. On the right back there's Salihamidzic, duo centre back Van Buiten and Lucio, and on the left back is Philipp Lahm. Two central midfielders, there is Hargreaves and also Van Bommel. On the right wing there's Otto, attacking midfielder there's McKay, and on the left wing there is Lau. And single striker is Lukas Podolski. Meanwhile, AC Milan has Dida on the goal. Right back there's Otto, duo centre back Nesta and Maldini. On the left back there is Jankulovski. On the right midfielder there's Gattuso. In the middle there's Pirlo and Ambrosini, and on the left midfielder there is Seedorf. Attacking midfielder is Kaká, and the central striker is Filippo Inzaghi. During Bayern Munich's build-up phase, Inzaghi and Kaká initiated the pressure by confronting the opposing centre-backs, while Pirlo and Ambrosini stepped up to tightly mark the central midfield pairing of Hargreaves and Van Bommel. When Van Bommel managed to receive possession, escaping to Salihamidzic on the right flank, Seedorf was to immediately shut down the fullback's time on the ball. On the opposite side, when Pirlo pressed Hargreaves in the center, forcing a pass out wide to Lau, Gattuso and Otto quickly converged to create a restrictive double team. This suffocating pressure forced Lau to recycle possession backward to Lahm, who was instantly closed down by an energetic Gattuso. Left with no central or progressive vertical passing lane, Lahm was forced into a long switch of play over to Salihamidzic on the far side, where Seedorf was already waiting to trigger the next wave of the press. When Otto stepped up to press Lau, triggering a cascading press where Gattuso closed down Lahm, Van Bommel smartly drifted out to the left flank to occupy the vacant zone behind the advancing Milan fullback. Podolski mirrored this wide movement to stretch the defense, while McKay pinned both central defenders by positioning himself directly between Nesta and Maldini, which Lau quickly took over before slipping a pass for McKay. However, Milan's relentless high-pressing strategy ultimately yielded the game's opening goal. The breakthrough occurred when Nesta aggressively stepped out of the defensive line to press Podolski, successfully forcing a turnover deep in Bayern's half. The ball was quickly funneled to Kaká, who carried it forward before finding Seedorf drifting into a central attacking pocket. Receiving the pass in stride, Seedorf shifted the ball sharply to his right, unleashing a low drive into the bottom corner to break the deadlock. When Bayern advanced into the attacking third, Podolski drifted inside to occupy the left half space, while Otto tucked in narrow from his wide right starting position to act as a central attacking midfielder. As Lahm fed a crisp vertical pass into McKay, the striker immediately played a rapid first-time flick into the path of Podolski. Further up the field, whenever Salihamidzic secured possession wide on the right, Hargreaves would purposefully drift over toward the touchline to offer a short passing outlet. This movement forced Kaká to track him deep into the defensive half. Bayern frequently utilized direct diagonal switches of play. Whenever Lahm picked up the ball on the left and spotted that Milan had heavily overloaded their defensive block toward this flank, he would hit a cross-field pass straight over to Salihamidzic. During Milan build-up phase, Seedorf tucked inside into a central playmaker role, vacating the flank for Jankulovski to push high up the pitch and join the midfield line. When Jankulovski received possession out wide, he would slip a pass inside to Seedorf and immediately trigger an underlapping run through the half space, while Kaká drifted wider to cover the vacant left-back slot and maintain structural balance. As Seedorf recycled the ball back to Kaká on the left wing, prompting Pirlo to change forward from his deep midfield station into the left half space to offer a sharp combination passing option after executing A swift 1-2 pass to bypass the immediate pressure. Kaká picked his head up and switched the play across to the right side. Gattuso gathered the crossfield ball and slipped it into Oddo, who was running overlapped down the touchline. With the crossing lane open, Oddo whipped a dangerous cross into the penalty box aimed at Inzaghi, who was lurking on the shoulder on the last defender, and Kaká sprint from his deep. Further up the pitch, whenever Pirlo controlled the tempo in the deep midfield, Seedorf would drift inside from the left wing to position himself centrally alongside Kaká. This movement left the entire left flank wide open for Jankulovski to surge into from fullback. The moment Pirlo worked the ball out to Jankulovski in this advanced wide position, the defender would whip a first-time cross into the penalty box to target the packed penalty area. When possession circulated through Ambrosini, Seedorf would drop deeper into a central midfield pocket to offer a secure passing outlet. The deeper cover provided the insurance for Jankulovski to overlap down the touchline, while Gattuso simultaneously tucked inside from the right to narrow the midfield block. Alternatively, Milan looked to bypass these elaborate build-up patterns by utilizing a direct vertical route. Spotting Inzaghi constantly playing on the shoulder of the last defender, Pirlo would look to catch the German backline unawares with lofted balls over the top. In the attacking third, when Jankulovski advanced down the wing, prompting Kaká and Seedorf to interchange positions, while Gattuso tucked inside to solidify the central midfield, Jankulovski fizzed a pass to Gattuso, who quickly shifted it along to Seedorf in a dangerous central pocket. Seedorf's threatening positioning immediately lured Van Buiten out of the defensive line. Spotting the defender's error, Seedorf executed a backheel into Inzaghi, who swept the ball into the net to double Milan's advantage. In the second half, Ottel is replaced by Santa Cruz. Meanwhile, McKay is replaced by Pizarro, while Lel is switched position with Salihamidzic. As Lam executed a crossfield pass over to Salihamidzic on the opposite wing, Oddo would immediately sprint out to shut him down. To offer an escape route from this intense touchline pressure, Pizarro would drop deeper into central pocket to provide a short passing option. However, Pirlo tracked his movement, Pizarro tightly to prevent him from turning and facilitating central progression. Instead of remaining stationary after circulating the ball wide, Lam would immediately press forward on a dynamic overlapping run the moment he saw Oddo step up to press Salihamidzic. Alternatively, when building through the center, Lucio's vertical pass into Hargreaves acted as a trigger for Ambrosini to apply immediate pressure, forcing him to quickly shift possession out to Lel on the left touchline. Lel bypassed the midfield by clearing a direct pass along the line to Santa Cruz, who held up the ball before feeding it back to Hargreaves as he drifted into the vacated wide right channel. With space finally engineered on the flank, Hargreaves whipped a dangerous delivery into the penalty box, targeting a heavily populated area that featured Pizarro, Podolski, and the late arriving Salihamidzic.
Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.